Alright, so I've been working on the trailer this weekend. Where we left off, we had this panel on, and then what I ended up doing was sectioning in for the rounded pieces. There's foam behind that piece of chipboard there. I went this way on this part, so if I need to, I can put like some sort of step or a toolbox or something hanging off the front. And then we got around the backside here. This will be where a access door will be. And we got that there. Then what we're going to do for inside, we'll have ourselves a nice little, kind of just a prop top. So we'll just prop it up, maybe a little more than that, but just enough to give room for sleeping. And in a tight spot, you could probably also use this section for sleeping. So we could technically have a bunk bed going on. But that way we can put all of the stuff that we might need to head out on race week right there. And then still have to build a hatch for the quick access back here where we can shove things like toolbox and the tires and whatever else we feel like. Still got to put the floor in. But that's how that is looking. We are shaping up pretty decent. Would have been nice to make a video of every single step that I made, but kind of running out of time, so I gotta get hoofing it. And it's almost to the point of coming through and skinning it. But I kind of had an issue with shipping and that type of stuff, and I got 2 of the 3 pieces that I wanted. The third one got sold to someone else, lovely, and replacement won't show up until after we've left for race week. So I'm gonna have to go hit the store and see what I can find to fit on here and get us going. So that's that. We'll probably be back when we show this thing all fully skinned. Alright, so trailer update. We've got something that kind of looks like a trailer. Now I'm in the process of rigging up a kind of clamshell here. So we got some aluminum angle iron to hold the frame, and then it's pretty much just foam panel. So this is going to take a little bit of tweaking, but we've got it sitting down here. I'm going to come through with some OSB board on this outer edge. That way, once I get the vinyl cover, I've got something to staple that cover into, and it'll help bring everything out to the edge. Then I'll probably come in here on the inside and get some sort of support bracket that these angle irons or aluminum angle sit on, so that way it'll reduce this flippy floppy. So that's what I'm working on next. Still got to cut out our side door and trim the back section, but once I get this done, then I can start working on the back hatch, and I can consider this project relatively done. So these corners look pretty decent. I mean, it's nothing to write home about. Definitely not going to be selling these. They're not exactly that level of awesomeness, but it will solve the purpose that we need it to, and it should last for quite a few years. So I'm going to get back to cracking and crank my big old fan on here, and hopefully I'll get somewhere decent in a short time frame. All right, so the basic flop top is done. It's not exactly perfect by any means, but it's not too shabby. So, gonna have to come through and throw down a little bit of this cover here. This is supposed to be a tonneau cover fabric, so it should hold up to the heat and everything baking it. So we'll get that wrapped up, stapled in. And I was worried that some of the like reinforcements that I put on the top are going to show through, and looks like the worst one is probably right here, but you can't really tell too much. Worst case scenario, I will make a couple bands so I can wrap around where the reinforcements are at, and that should also keep the top from trying to ripple while ripping it down the street. So that'll be fun to get that going. I got our hinge all set up, so we should be pretty ready to go there. Unfortunately, I've got like all of 8 days left where I have to work at work and get this hatch done, as well as get all the registrations and everything, and to make sure that I get the car to comply to some of the more stringent regulations that I completely forgot about. So, got a whole lot of stuff to do, and not a lot of time to do it in. So, I gotta keep hustling here. Okay, I'm thinking this is gonna be the gist of how this operates. So we got this here. I'm gonna have to bend a different piece of conduit for this piece, but what I'll end up doing is making it so it comes out to each of the walls here, and then it'll just sit right there, and then we will hook on some sort of hook here, so that way when we put this up, we can hook a strap and tighten it down, so then it'll hold this firm and nothing's gonna flop and wobble around. What I'm also gonna end up doing is I will have to come around and put kind of a heavy duty tarp up underneath this, so when we lift it up, it's just a big tarp section. Now I'm thinking I could probably leave it long enough and just staple it to the top of this piece, and then all they'll have to do is just take it, stuff it inside, shut the lid, and move on to the next location. So, I believe that's what I'm going to end up doing here. And then I'm going to have to tackle the hatch in the back before I can call this thing ready to fly. So still a lot more stuff to do. So I guess I'll just have to get to it. Alright, the trailer's officially done. Got her all packed up. Couldn't figure out what tools I wanted to bring, so I just hooked the engine hoist onto the actual toolbox and chucked it in the back. So essentially, we got clamshell here, nice little sleeping area. Then we have this storage access. Couple of those, and you got handles and just kind of like a attic ceiling. So then we got whole bunch of stuff in here. We'll have to strap some things down, but that should be pretty much good to go. It's not perfect, not ideal. That fender's a little bit off. Still a few more things that needs to be done, but I'd say we're close to done. And of course, been thrashing on this thing to finish up the little loose ends. Ran this hose into the filter. It's kind of an interesting thing that I do from time to time with these cone filters. Install a nipple in there, then you can run a hose so you can get filtered air, and also helps with PCV issues. And I finished putting that panel in. And then the biggest hurdle is I ended up having to put a battery box in. It's like not exactly what I had in mind, but I completely forgot that to be legal, you gotta have a battery box. So that's less than fun. So yeah, we added a couple ornaments here. So all in all, I think we are ready to fly. And of course, like usual, we're sitting here with a car that's never really been driven, and we're just going to jump in it and attempt to drive to Colorado. So, yeah, stay tuned for that disaster, because Rocky Mountain Race Week is tomorrow. Yay! Anyways, thanks for stopping around and watching. We'll just have to see you guys later.